Good morning, students. Before I start with my lesson of history, that is mass media and history, let us share a beautiful thought. My thought is the biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand, we listen to reply. That means, children, we should understand others' view also and try to listen other person's perspective. We should not jump to conclusion suddenly. Every problem should be solved with positive discussion. On the whole, we should be a good listener also. So, children, let us start our new lesson, that is mass media and history. Now, children, we all are aware that everybody is going through this pandemic situation. Now, education sector is totally depend upon mobile. Now, mobile is the only medium through which we can communicate. A student and teacher can communicate with each other. So, this is the medium of communication. This lesson deals with how communication between people all over the world was started. Let us see how mass media and history is closely connected. Children, mass media, as you can see in the first slide, mass media, because as our lesson deals with mass media and history, what is the relation between mass media and history? How history is related to mass media and how these two can be correlated. Children, mass means aggregation of people and media means various modes of communication. So, mass media, that means fields of mass communication, that means a lot of people, where a lot of people can communicate with each other at the same time. So, mass media means people who can communicate with each other on the basis of, we can say, maximum people can communicate with each other at the same time. Now, children, mass media contains two words, mass and media. Understood? So, mass means maximum people, mass means aggregation of people, and media means various modes of communication. So, this lesson deals with mass media, which is related to how it is related to history. So, children, as you can see this in this slide, four traditional means were there. During ancient period, medieval period and modern period, how communication was done, how people they used to communicate with each other. So let us start with ancient means of communication. So you can see there were four traditional means. First, town crier. Second, religious meetings. Third, notice board. Fourth, community engagement. Understood? So these were the four traditional means of communication during ancient time. Understood? Now we will see one by one. First, we will see town crier. Children, a town crier, he is deployed or he is appointed by a king. Understood? And his main duty is to communicate on behalf of king to the common people. Now, how during ancient time, how this town crier used to communicate with the people, and what things he used to carry with him? First, a bell, a whistle, a wooden metal gong. Understood? So this town crier, he used to run from one end to another end, and he used to uh, communicate with people very loudly. Understood? Now, town crier is usually an eloquent individual who understands the community, and wherever he beats his gong, heads turn and ears twitch. The people recognize that the message must be important and urgent to warrant the dispatch of the crier. Example, the death of an elder or coming war, trumpet and booming of guns, oral poetry and music, festivals, marriages, naming, burial, and chieftaincy titles are often a must attend for the Africans. Folklores used to teach morals, create amusements and laughter, expose the follies of the people, and extol their virtues. See, people, these town crier were deployed by king, and he used to communicate with the people. He used to give the message on the behalf of king to the people about coming of war, about coming war, and how the people they were supposed to be alert, a death of an elder, and these type of things. Now, how they used to communicate? With a bell, whistle, and wooden or metal gong. They used to beat very loudly, and they used to tell people very loudly, running from one end to another end. Understood? So he was known as town crier. So this was a first medium of communication during ancient time. Now second was religious meetings. Children, religious meetings is was very common in our country, India. If you have studied in your previous classes, when Buddhism and Jainism was spreading all over the world, that time the religious meetings were very common. Understood? Remember, the first religious meeting by Gautam Buddha was at Sarnath. See, the meetings of the churches and other faith-based groups in the communities are vertebral channels utilized in the communication at the community level. Members of the community hold the leaders of these groups in high esteem as they are very convincing. So people used to gather at a particular place, and the religious heads, or we can say people during that time, we can say during ancient time and medieval time, the people, they were very much interested in religion. So these type of religious meetings were the ground where the people, they used to meet with each other, and these leaders, religious leaders, they used to communicate with people. And the actual the way to communicate with people was to spread their religion, to make aware the people about the religion. Understood? So this is how the religion was spreading. This is how the religion, Buddhism and Jainism and other faiths were, the leader, they used to spread among the people. So religious meeting was one of the important medium of the communication during ancient and medieval time. Understood? This we can see in today's time also. Now next medium was notice board. So as you can see in this slide, you can see a pictorial notice is given. Some pictures are engraved, and through this pictorial message was given by kings, or it, and on the whole we know already that some messages were inscribed on the stone. Different rock edicts we have already found. So these type of things were engraved on rocks, so that people will be able to know that about the king or other things. Understood? So this notice board was very important during that time. Now you can see community engagement. Now in this picture you can see it very clearly. An elderly man, or we can say sarpanch, or the head of the village, is sitting, and the people, they are sitting around him, and they must be discussing on any problem, and the solution was given by the headman. So Gramini, we can say during ancient time the head of the village was known as Gramini. So this type of community engagement was another mean of communication. So the people, they used to communicate with each other in this type of meetings, village meetings. Understood? So this type of things was there during ancient time and medieval time. Still now we are having in our villages in panchayati system. Understood? Now further forms of traditional media announcement. One of the popular traditional forms of communication is the announcement made by beating a nagada or drum with a stick, and used for communicating messages from one village to another through its beats. So announcement, already I told you that this town crier, they used to gave message on the behalf of king very loudly to the people by blowing whistle or by blowing any type of wooden or metal gongs. So this nagada in our country during that time, medieval and ancient time, nagada or drum with a stick was used for communicating messages. Like तुम लोगों ने सुना होगा, जैसे गांव वगैरह में क्या होता है, जाकर के ऐसे जोर जोर से बजाते हैं, सुनो 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 रामनगर के निवासी सुनो, आज आपको सबको राजा ने राजसभा में बुलाया है. You must have witnessed in various mythological serials and other serials also, in books also. So these type of things was there, and was there the to have communication between king and common people, and any type of message was given through this pattern or through this method. Understood?